There are many skate parks all over the world with different obstacles to try to skate. And though a lot of skate parks are built differently, more to look like street, some look like traditional skate parks with transition, a lot of different things may come along. If you've never been to a skate park before, these are a few things you may encounter while being at a skate park.
What's up, Rangers? If it's your first time at a skate park, let's talk about some things you may encounter while being here. Today we're going to talk about if it's your first time ever being on a skateboard or at a skate park, what are you going to encounter and what are things called and how do you utilize them. This is a skate park. These places are designed for you to learn, practice, and basically sharpen your skills on all the tricks you want to learn on a skateboard. Now, skate park's not the only place we play this at, but this is a great place and great time to talk about the vocabulary of a skate park. There are many obstacles and terrains that a skateboard can be utilized on, and here are a few examples of things you may find at a skate park. First, starting off, of course, is a wedge, a bank. These are also utilized for getting speed, going down, getting across the park. They're also utilized to do tricks on them when people come up and hit a trick on the thing and go back down. You may also come across something that looks a little more different than a bank. It's called transition, also known as a quarter pipe. A quarter pipe is where you go up from flat ground, you smooth up, and you come up to what's known as coping. This is where people stall their boards or grind, depending on which way you come at it. Now, when you combine two of these things together, we get what's known as a hip. As you can see, example here, this is the bank hip. Now, people usually come from here and they'll pop up on one side and land on the opposite, going that direction. We also find it here on our quarter pipe. They'll come up here, they'll do a trick, and they'll come back on the opposite side. These are excellent for flips, spins, and even jumps. Here we come across one of the basic street type obstacles. This is known as a mani pad. It has an edge to it, but mostly what is being utilized is a step up and a elongated pad, so people can do an ollie up and manual across. A lot of tricks can be done, both flipped in, flipped out. Your next basic obstacle you find on street or even on the flat course is known as a flat bar. Now, this bar is actually round, so it has less surface space to it, but you may find them squared or octagon, all kinds of shapes. But these are usually your typical ways to learn how to board slide 50-50 or do grinds on rails themselves. Flat bars are excellent fun training obstacles. Our next obstacle you'll find is pretty much utilizable is known as a ledge. A ledge is usually a three-dimensional box or a cube of some sort, and it has what's known as edging. This also is not called coping. This is kind of more of the edging of a ledge, but it is similar to what coping does. It allows you to grind or slide, and this is where you typically practice a lot of your grind and slide tricks and really get them locked in. See, something that's flat and square has a lot more lockability than something that is round. So that's why typically a lot of parks have square rails or round rails, depending on which style of skateboarding they like. This is the main course of things you find out in the real world, the street course. These are things and obstacles you're going to practice on. You're seeing a lot of skate parks. People love these kind of things. Gaps and stairs. This is a 6 set, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stairs you got to gap over to complete the gap. These are excellent for learning how to do flip tricks down things, how to do 180s down things. It just overall helps you with your gaps, and it's one of those key pieces that people love to skate. If you take a ledge and you put it down the stair set and it's at an angle, it's what is known as a hubba ledge. This means that basically it's going downwards instead of being a flat ledge. A lot of skaters love these things because you get a nice angle outwards, making the ledge lower and allowing you to grind. It's the same as ledges. It's for grinding, it's for sliding, if you're good enough to jump on it and manual down it, that's whatever. But most of the time you're grinding and sliding on these guys. Are really fun, and again, when something is square, it's a little more lockable than when it's round. Alright guys, we're here now with what is considered the hubba ledge of the flat bars. We know these as handrails. These are bars that go down stair sets, down gaps. They're at an angle and not so much low on the ground or a flat parallel type of thing. People too as well grind, slide, gap over. These are really great obstacles to practice on because you find a lot of these same street parts in the real world. So when you're practicing in a park like this, it gets you prepared for what's out there if you're someone who likes to skate street. Again, Round rails, they're not as lockable all the time, but it also depends on your preference. Some people like round rails, some people like square rails. Round rails tend to like lock into like feebles and blunt slides a little better. Some people like, you know, crookeds and nose slides and these kind of tricks on square rails. It's up to you, whichever you prefer, but these are the handrails. Now we're gonna get to some real technical type pieces you'll find maybe at a skate park, something that might be unique or different. This is known as a Euro gap. This is kind of like combining a ramp, a wedge, a bank, right into a stair set, so that you have to gap from the wedge up the stair set. Typically people go from right here, they'll pop up, and as you can see, it's a flat stair set here, and you gotta land back on top of the flat. You can go also from the flat into the ramp. Most of the time people are trying to do tricks up the ramp, up the Euro. So again, this is a Euro gap. It's kind of a combination of either stairs or a flat bank gap with a bank attached to it. Another unique style piece that you might find inside a skate park is what's known as an A-frame. It's kind of shaped like an A because it's two ramps, two wedges, two banks put together as kind of a mountaintop, and people will tend to pop a trick off this one into the next bank. They can even gap from the bank all the way to flat. And there's many options you can do, from spins, variations, flips, all that kind of stuff. A-frames are really fun to play on. Alright guys, now this is not always at every skate park, but for our skate park here at the Skate Academy, we have known as a needle nose. It's kind of a steeper, more wedged together bank. And there's a lot of terrain that you'll find that may be steeper or more mellow. A lot of the bank stuff is typically the same feel. You just got to get used to the speed or the approach to it. And as you can see, our A-frame also carries a handrail that's been A-framed out, two bars connected together. Those are, you know, easy and accessible from the ramps themselves. You can gap over them, you can grind them, just the same as any handrail or any flat bar you're used to. Alright guys, now we're getting down and deep into the ideas of what we can do and what we can skate on here at a skate park. I'm inside what's known as a bowl. This is a third-dimensional, deep thing into the ground that allows you to transition things. It's basically a three-dimensional tortoise pipe that is connected all the way around. Now you may find that some places have only a transition that goes back and forth. There is no third dimension to it. Those are known as half pipes. So quarter pipes is like 1/4 of a pipe. Two sides is half a pipe. And obviously if you put a top half pipe on top of a half pipe, that's a full pipe. But we are dealing with what is known as a bowl, which usually has a third-dimensional ring around it, either in a circle, some are clover leaf. Ours is the shape of our water tower here in our great city of Ypsilanti. So we have made a weird mushroom shape, so it's kind of different. But overall, all bowls tend to have a deep side to it or a shallow side to it, and it's usually encased by itself. Alright, that's not everything you'll ever find at a skate park, but it is a big generalization of most things you typically come across at a skate park. We are lackful here of a couple things that may be found in other skate parks. But overall, as a first video towards this thing, I would actually say this is a great introduction to most of the things you'll come across at a skate park. And if you like this content, please hit the subscribe, hit the like so you can see more great content, and follow up with a video on some other extra things you may come across at a skate park for your first time. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at Ranger Skate Academy to explain this vocabulary of what it's like to start at a skate park for your first time. We hope to see you again. Everyone stay blessed.